but don't come in like, oh, I'm black, like I'm struggling, like they should understand me. They should just like don't play victim. Don't do that. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you don't know me, my name is Raymond, and on my YouTube channel, you can basically find an array of videos. Today, we have a special guest, Sharon.
Hey, shorties!
Sharon goes to my school as well, and she's another fellow YouTuber, so check her out as well, and her name will be here.
Make sure you click subscribe. So, my name is Sharon. My YouTube name is XO Sharon. For all my little fans already watching, what's up, y'all? So, I know you guys saw my Villanova video, and Raymond as well has a Villanova video, and so after filming, we were like, you know, let's actually do some more. Let's get into the nitty-gritty, especially because we are both people of color, and we didn't really expand on what it's like to be a person of color at Villanova, so we really like to let y'all know what this school be doing to us.
So the first point that we're going to talk about is basically the resources here at Villanova. I'm part of the School of Liberal Arts and Sciences, and basically at that school, the resources aren't really like grand as they are in the College of Nursing.
They give us money.
Yes, so that's kind of problematic, especially like when most of the people of color are in the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences.
Yeah, as far as like from a nursing perspective, my roommate is in the liberal arts and craft is what we call it, and it's because they don't get as much resources, even career development and guidance, as far as like if you come in and you don't know your major. In the nursing school, we're all nurses, we don't have to worry about a major. Business school, you're going to be under the business umbrella, so you're not really going to be too focused on your major up until sophomore year. For freshmen who are in the liberal arts college, it's a little more difficult because you don't have that guidance as far as somebody saying, okay, you know, you can take these classes and check this out. It's really up to you. And if you don't know what classes you want to take, they're going to put you with all the philosophy and theology classes. And that's not helpful because most of us are not going to major in philosophy and theology.
And a lot of people of color basically come into the Villanova wanting to be basically pre-med. And a lot of people drop it. I don't think a lot of people understand when you come in and you want to be like pre-med, you don't have to go into the sciences. Like there are other routes. Like you don't have to major in biology if you're not good at biology. Like just take the prereqs. Like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people of color don't know the routes to be successful in college.
I don't even know, as a freshman, I have no idea who I'm supposed to talk to. Like, I don't know any like faculty on this campus like that as far as like who I'm supposed to connect to. So if I wasn't such a chatty Cathy to begin with, like it really is going to be difficult.
And even when you advocate for yourself, you have to have thick skin, because not always are you going to advocate for yourself and you're going to come to like a solution. There has been many of times where I have, you know, went on a limb to like advocate for myself and just run into like a dead wall. So definitely, like when you attend a PWI, keep in mind that you may not have like allies to always back you in situations that you want to be backed in.
That's the tea. That is a very factual.
That's facts.
So I'm sorry to break it to y'all, but Villanova is not an HBCU. This is a PWI, predominantly white institution. Like, y'all. So basically, I say that because I came into Villanova thinking, although it's a PWI, like we're on the East Coast, we're close to Maryland, you know, thinking I was going to see a little bit more of a diverse environment. No. Like, this school is very much so a PWI. And you can see that in the social aspect as well. So, like, let's just first talk about Greek life, for example. On this campus, like recently, all the little white sororities did their whole little rushing thing or whatever. It was literally 3 weeks long, and it was literally the only thing I heard about my entire dorm. Every single girl, I'm Tri Delta, I'm Tri Omega. Literally, that's all I heard. So that basically, I'm saying that to emphasize that there is a plethora of whites, fraternities, and sororities, and they have their little social life going on. But if you compare that to the Divine Nines that we have here, we have two. We have the AKAs and the Deltas as the Divine Nines on campus here, which is not that much. And so it's like kind of seeing that contrast. If you are interested in joining an org like that, or even just clubs, there is a very minimal amount of clubs for people of color on this campus.
I remember my senior year of high school, like literally me and another girl came here from my high school. And we literally went on like the 2020 class Facebook page, and we were literally like scrolling through looking for people of color. And we found like literally a handful. And one thing that I noticed, like when I would reach out to them to basically establish like relationships with them, not everyone was like willing to, do that. So with these organizations and activities, keep in mind like, okay, there is like a limited amount of, resources, organizations, and, blacks on campus, and not all of them are going to automatically be allies. So don't think because, okay, we have 2 of the Divine 9 frats and sororities on campus that you're going to come and you're going to join automatically, and it's going to be kumbaya, and you're going to have like the HBCU experience, because that is not how it works. Like, you have to keep in mind you're going to be a minority in and outside of, your community. So
yes, that right there I feel like is the perfect phrasing. Being a minority in and outside of your black community or whatever demographic you identify besides white. So like for me, kind of like what Raymond was saying, when I found out I was like gonna go to Villanova, I went on the Facebook page and I was like, okay, let me find my black roommates and my black friends. And we made a group chat, and the group chat was most of the black girls on campus. And I think it was like 35 freshman black girls. And so that wasn't all of them, but the fact that I was able to get a good handful of all the black women in my class in one Snapchat group chat is disappointing. It is extremely disappointing. So it's like, even as far as like organizations go, like we have a BSU and we have this club called ACV, African Caribbean Villanovans. Like, it's not, 2 clubs aren't going to cater to the needs of every single black person. And Villanova does not understand that. They think, they don't understand. Like, Raymond has tried getting together an org to serve different types of black people too, and they basically told him, like, it's enough. We got to.
Yeah. Villanova is okay with basically limiting resources for people of color. As Sharon mentioned, like my freshman year, I tried to start a new organization for people of color, and basically it was shot down. Like, they basically told me that there are already organizations on campus that basically serve the same mission that I was trying to achieve. And that is very problematic when you have hundreds of organizations for whites and you only have maybe 2 or 3 been max for blacks. So keep that in mind as well. Like, everyone, again, it's not going to be on your side. You may have amazing ideas and it may still, just run you into a dead wall. So
exactly. So like I was saying earlier, as far as being an outgoing person, it's very necessary to kind of step into yourself as a person of color at Villanova and advocate for yourself in every realm of this university, because there are not going to be many people who do it for you. One thing I've learned at Villanova, your skin folk ain't necessarily your kin folk, okay? Ooh. Like,
I can't even snap.
Just because we all black don't mean it's a kiki left and right. Like, it's definitely, the black community has a very deep divide. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, I coming in thought I was, going to be friends with all the black people. That's not the case. Not every black person's going to advocate for their black community or for themselves. And that's a shock that really hit my chest, y'all.
Mm-hmm. So if you are like, a person of color attending a PWI, don't be one of those people. Like, if you see, a fellow sister or brother struggling, reach out. Like, you don't have to be buddy just because you're the same skin color, but, do realize that you're in this together, and you should, want to be an ally and help someone, going through the same struggle as you.
And I really wish that more black people on Villanova would recognize that concept. Like, I'm not asking to be best friends with all of y'all. I'm just merely asking that we can support each other, you know? It's not necessarily about friendship, rather than we are going to all, regardless if you identify a lot with your black community or whatever, we are all going to be treated the same in the school as far as the resource that they give us. It doesn't matter if you're a football player or a basketball player, none of that. We are, at the end of the day, we are all black people. So stop forgetting, and when you see me, maybe smile.
Yeah, speak. At least. All right, so the third point is basically the social aspect. The social aspect here is very
pathetic.
Mediocre. Yeah. I tried to say it the nice way, but it's very pathetic. Very. Like, there are no people of color parties on campus. I touched on this on the first video. If you didn't see that, check it out. But basically, like, if you want to, party and let your hair down, you have to travel into Philly. And that is cost. Like, that cost. You have to pay for an Uber because you can't have a car until what?
Junior year.
Your third year. You have to pay to get in the party.
They be robbing you.
And then, like, let's just say you want a pregame. You have to pay for that as well. So it adds up.
I refuse to pay to go to a party. Like, first of all, I'm too pretty for you to be charging me at the door. Point number one. And it's just ridiculous. Like, all I got to do is stay in my room. Like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And if you're looking for, like, that Beyonce homecoming type of atmosphere, you're not going to get it at a PWI. You're not going to get the band. You're not going to get the excitement. Like,
do you even have a band?
Maybe two people with a flute and a little clarinet. That's all you get in here at Villanova University. You're not going to get the whole, I don't know, like, how would you...
It's not, like, when, like, I don't know if any of y'all watch Grownish, but, like, I remember watching Grownish and it was lit, they had a darty and then they went out. And even my friends at Clark Atlanta, actually, their homecoming,
like
they had, like, a Wildin' Out event. Like, it was lit. They were out every single night. I didn't even know when our homecoming was.
No.
Like, and even to, like, let's say you don't have that image of what homecoming's supposed to be. I'm from Minnesota, very white state. Even homecoming at my little baby high school was turned.
That's facts.
Like,
my high school homecoming was much more lit. Much more.
So the fact that I'm in this huge institution, you're charging me $75,000, and, like, we don't even get a homecoming like that?
An alumni tailgate. That's all you get. Point number 4. College is a place to basically reinvent yourself, to improve yourself, but be authentic in doing so. Like, don't come to college and basically switch up on your people or, like, just create this monster. Like, still be authentic and still be, like, a person that people want to be around.
Exactly. Like, me coming into college, I had things that I wanted to let go of my high school self and reinvent myself. So, of course, if you want, like, this is the place, especially if you come from far away, you can really be a whole brand new you. But don't come in trying to appeal to other people. Whatever you're doing, however you're changing yourself, make sure you're appealing to yourself. Because you in here to get your paper, not make friends. So really focus on how you're going to make yourself happy, get that degree, and go. Like, friends are a luxury we cannot afford.
Yeah, and don't be, like, so competitive. Like, there's enough, like, resources and winning for everybody. Like, I noticed, like, my freshman year, like, I would go out for, like, positions, and people of color, like, in my community would basically, like, try to sabotage me from getting them. Like, don't reinvent yourself in a way that's that nasty. Like, don't diminish who you are as a person to basically become someone who's at the top. Like, you're going to be at the top, I'm going to be at the top, we can be at the top together.
Exactly. And my mom always says this to me, and I said this in my Villanova video: we don't all win until we each win. And basically, all that is, it's like, I can be successful and Raymond can be successful. I don't need to step on him. I don't need to stop his bag so I can get up there. Because honestly, if you have to do that to either love yourself or be successful, if you have to step on somebody else, then you ain't got what it takes.
No.
You don't.
No. And guess what? The white people are not doing that.
Exactly.
They're not doing that.
And look at them. Are they still successful? Like, and it's just a bad look as a community. Like, and I've never understood the concept of people who walk around being shiesty. I don't want to be your friend if you're doing that. Like, you look nasty.
So that goes back to the point that I made previously. Like, coming to a PWI, basically wanting to make allies, but not necessarily like friends. Like, you don't have to come here and be friends with everybody because they look like you or have the same skin color. But be open to being, like, allies and basically pulling people up with you, especially if y'all both struggling and going through, like, the same hardships.
So, as far as one piece of advice, what's, like, one thing that you would advise any person of color coming to Villanova?
Be open, but be open to, I don't know, like, an extent. Like, being open is a two-way street. Don't be so open to the point where you, like, assimilate and lose yourself. Like, realize that, okay, I'm being open to these people, so they should be open to me. Like, if it's not a two-way street, cut it. But don't come in like, oh, I'm black, like, I'm struggling, like, they should understand me, they should just, like, don't play victim, don't do that. But at the same time, like I said, like, be open, and try to, create a relationship where you're understanding, the others, and the others are understanding you as well.
Exactly. And I agree with all that. And from a more social advice standpoint, you don't get caught up in the mess. Don't get caught up in the mix, Yes, I understand what people think about you is important, but like I said, at the end of the day, we are all here to get our degree and go, So if you're getting caught up in drama and that's taking you away from the main point that we're here, education, that's when you have a problem. Don't put anybody on a pedestal. Look at everybody as equals, respect everybody, and like Raymond said, if it's not mutually beneficial, if people aren't respecting you, cut that, leave it there, focus on other things. Do not get caught up in this drama.
But until next time, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out Sharon's channel as well, and thank you for tuning in. Peace out.
Love you guys.
Nope.